Hello and welcome to All Shorts. Well, I'm just sitting there waiting for the missus and reading through some articles and reading through the Guardian, because apparently I'm one of these tofu eating Guardian readers. You know, the Wugarati. If you listen to the likes of Suella Braverman, the Home Secretary, and talking about Suella Braverman, she's now been accused, she is, of building in delays into the plan to speed up asylum claims. Yeah. Lovely, isn't she? I would say not. She's awful, Leaky Sue. That she is. What happened there then? Did that ever get investigated? Because quite frankly, what she was doing was criminal. She ought to be locked up. Just like Richie Sunak, the Prime Minister, should be locked up for, well, fraud, allegedly. Well, immigration lawyers have accused the Home Office of building in delays into a scheme meant to speed up decisions on 12,000 odd asylum claims. It's worse than that now. Well, the plans announced last month to cut the asylum backlog, which now stands at 160,000 cases. 160,000. Well, they're sending out these questionnaires to refugees, and they have to reply within 20 working days in English, or they risk being refused. Right, so they're trying to speed. On the face of it, it looks like they're trying to speed things up, but this is apparently, it's looking a bit more like, how to put it, an obstacle, make it harder, not easier. So the questionnaires are being sent to 12,000 people from Afghanistan, Eritrea, Libya, Syria and Yemen. All countries with an asylum grant rate of more than 95%. So they're pretty much getting granted asylum anyway. 95% is pretty high, wouldn't you say? Now, while lawyers and human rights organisers welcome the efforts by the Home Office to speed up the processing of asylum claims, they say that the scheme has run into difficulties just weeks after the announcement. It's just not working. It's basically blocking people from being able to apply. It's having the opposite effect. But I believe that's probably what they were trying to do all along. If Suella Braverman's got anything to do with it, all she ought to do is just send everybody to Rwanda. Be careful, she'll be sending you next. So, there's several immigration lawyers that complained they have to the Home Office officials because they've been rejecting the witness statements that they send. Now, a recent email exchange between one lawyer and a Home Office official reveals that the Home Office is asking for new statements to be drafted, which is difficult to accomplish within the 20-day deadline, especially if they don't speak the language yet. I say yet, most cases they're learning. Now there's regarding the placing these people who are in hotels into different places, which, you know, into these we're talking about these barges and stuff like that. It's pretty darn horrible, really. There's one young lad who's just been doing his English. He's about to do his English exam, and then they moved him, and he couldn't do his exam. Poor lad, you know what I mean? He's been working hard to do his English, about to do his English exam, and then that possibly gets taken away from him because they moved him into a different place, probably into a camp somewhere. If it's anything to do with Jonathan Gullis, it'll be in a tent. Lovely, aren't they, these Tories? Evil buggers. I can't, for me, personally, I don't think for starters, it's a really bad look, even for the Tories. Who are they really sucking up to? You know, are the British public, are they assuming that the British public are really that nasty to take in the crap that comes out of the likes of Jonathan Gullis and Lee Anderson's trap? Let's lock them up in the flippin' container somewhere with no heating and what have you. Then they've got Scampton. They've got no hot water, no heating. It's the RAF base in Scampton. You know, where the Lancasters for the Dam Busters raids. So it's just... I'm actually embarrassed, to be honest, to call myself British. Ashamed to call myself British. Is this really what we are about as a people? I know the situation is difficult, and I know the situation is desperate on both sides of the house, in the sense of whether you're on the right of politics or the left, depending wherever you are. But it doesn't make any difference. People are just people, and you don't treat people that way. You just don't. Unless you're an evil... Yeah, I can't say it on there. Anyway. So the immigration lawyers protesting, and they said that they have asked are being asked to provide significant amounts of information in relation to our clients' protection needs in a chronological fashion. We have already completed this task and sent it to the Home Office, and we would be duplicating work if we completed another witness statement for this purpose. And the form is small and would not fit in the relevant... you can't fit in all the relevant information on the actual form itself. So it has to have accompanying sheets and what have you. So this is just... I am embarrassed, actually. This is just getting on the show. There's one way to curb the little boats. That's really probably the only way, and that is to provide safe and legal routes into the United Kingdom. We should be allowing these people to apply for asylum before they even get into the country. Say, for instance, in France. That was what was suggested by Macron, but no, they don't want that. Because they don't want them anyway. And they say it's to stop the cycle. That's what Richie Sunak says. Stop the cycle of the illegal gangs. It's got nothing to do. That's just rhetoric. They don't give a damn about the so-called illegal gangs. They just want to stop people. Whether you are in a legitimate case or not. They don't care. These Tories just do not care. They just don't want you. Just don't. No. And the problem is there's people voting for them, and the problem is there's people going to vote for them again. So they exist. They walk amongst us. These evils. Yeah. Anyway, you tell me what you think, really, because this... I don't know, it's just getting from bad to worse. I understand there's a situation and that does need to be resolved, but there is a solution, but they don't want to take it. Because they're evil. Pretty much, they are. They're just evil. If I had my own way, well, be Nuremberg. or a wall. Well, actually 4 walls and a roof. Or maybe a bunch of containers somewhere on a barge. And we could set it adrift. Just for all these Tories... Not necessarily all of them, but, they're nasty pieces of work. They're not all bad. Caroline Noakes, for instance, she had something to say regarding these asylum plans. To say they're evil. Yeah, she's a Tory. There again, she did apparently have a lovely seat, according to Stanley Johnson. So, these people are just... These Tories have just got no morals whatsoever. Anyway, it's time for me to go. My phone is ringing, so that's probably the missus asked me to pick her up. So I better go. Ta-ta. Anyway, leave it in the comments down below.